Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
Cortina
Thomas,
Thomas,
she's
LVNV versus Cortina Thomas, 250-4580. Good morning, ma'am. Your name?
Top 20. Okay. Good morning, Your Honor, respectfully. My name is Cortina Thomas.
All right. Jennifer, you guys, she filed a motion in your name, Mr. Begg.
Jay Begg on behalf of plaintiff. We talked about we're unable to settle it. She would like her motion to be heard.
Jennifer, what kind of service was there in this case? I need that document, or at least you need to tell me how the service was. Was this alternate service?
It does look like it was alternate, and I can print those if you'd like.
You live at 18104 Pine East, ma'am?
No, sir, I do not.
When did you live there until?
I did not live there. I moved back from Ohio and I used that address. It's a family home, a family member's home, and I used the address. I always put my P.O. box on everything. So I did. I was already in a hearing with a court case with LVNV funding, where they had been putting documents on the family member's home regarding me. And I let the judge know the hearing that I just had that that is not my address, and they were supposed to, I guess, make that known that I use my PO box, that I do
What
not live at
judge?
that address.
What judge?
I'm actually doing another case for who's my judge for that one?
What? Well,
I go back to court on July the 7th for that
are you
one.
in this courthouse? What does that have to do with anything?
No, no, no. I was just saying that I did make a correction for them to, I don't know why they keep sending my mail to the wrong address, is what my point was.
Well, what case are you talking about? A case in this court or some other court?
Your Honor, if I may, she does have a case in front of Judge Heston in which we did update her address to a P.O. box on March 19th. So just recently.
And you did it on this one too. Defendant one previous address, I think. Well, it says 118
Correct.
18104
They keep
Pine
putting
East.
that same address on there, but that's not my address. I asked the court, could I use my PO box, because that's something that I know I frequently go and check my mail on a regular basis, and the judge agreed to that. So
That's nice of her. I'm not worried about what happened on that case. I'm worried about what happened on this case.
This case, Your Honor, I never received any documents. I was never served any papers regarding the court case. I would have been there. I went to the
Wait a
last
minute.
one. I would have went to this one.
Ma'am, would you let me ask you a question, please? You said the family owns a place, or at least is in control of the place, whether as a tenant or otherwise, at 18104, correct?
Correct.
And you gave us that address initially, right?
No, I did not. I've never given that address, sir. Your Honor, I've never given that address at all to anyone. I've always used my PO box. I've never given that address. I don't even know how they were aware of that address. Like I
You owe
stated,
this. Slow down. Do you owe
I'm
this
sorry.
money?
I'm not aware of the total amount. They still haven't even told me the amount that they're saying that I owe. So I have discrepancies regarding that because of the fact that I paid into my debt. So I do not
Ma'am,
I'm not aware of what they're saying, my total claim, the total
You-
amount that they're trying to claim that I owe them.
you received a copy of the judgment, right?
I received a judge. I didn't receive any paperwork from them. What happened was,
Ma'am, please just answer my question.
okay,
Did we or did we not send you a copy of the judgment that you received? Yes or no?
I received a notice to appear. That's the last notice that I received. I did receive that.
You didn't receive the judgment.
No,
What prompted you to come in here and file a motion to set aside the default judgment then?
that's what I'm saying. So when I was when I found out about the judgment, it was the court had already appeared. I had just went to court before for LVNV funding prior to. So I had reached out to the court because I received a statement saying that I had a judgment against me. And
Maybe
I
I'm
said,
not
well, what is
making
this?
myself clear. What caused you to file a motion to
I-
say, ma'am, you,
Oh, I received the judgment. I received the judgment saying that I had a judgment. You know
that's
what I
what
mean?
I
The
said to
judgment
you.
paper.
You just
Okay,
told
well,
me you
I
didn't
misunderstood. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. So when I
Slow down,
received the judgment, I
slow down,
contacted the.
slow
Yes,
down,
okay,
slow down.
okay.
You just got done telling me you did not receive the judgment. Now
I
you're
did
saying,
receive the judgment. I'm sorry. I'm referring about I got another court case, that paperwork that is in front of me too. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I apologize, Your Honor.
okay, just
I
stop
did receive
talking.
the judgment.
Stop talking, please. You also told me after you said that you didn't receive the judgment, that they never told you how much you owed them. If you received the judgment, it's right on there, correct? Do you have a copy of the
I'm
judgment
speaking
in
about the
front?
conversation that I just. Okay.
I don't know. It's big. I'm wondering if my forehead says I want to be interrupted. It must. It must say that. It has to. You have the judgment in front of you?
Yes, I have the judgment now in front of me.
You see what it says that you owe?
Correct.
Hmm.
I do see it.
Okay, so now you know what you owe. How much do you think that you owe? Give me the exact dollar. Don't just tell me I made a payment or I made payments and I don't owe this much without telling me the exact amount that you owe.
I can't give you an exact amount
Well, then how do you know that you don't owe this?
because like I stated before, Your Honor, I have paid into my debt. I was
That's,
paying into my debt until I
ma'am,
lost my employment. So I
what
was
is the,
paying my debt every week, every 2 weeks that they had me paying until I lost my employment.
all right, Mr. Bank.
So I'm not aware. I have to go back and
Okay.
find my
You don't
actual
know.
receipts and things.
You said it 45 seconds ago. You don't know how much you owe. Mr. Big,
Not the exact amount. Not today. I do not.
well, you're coming to court and you're asking me to set aside a judgment. And I have to
Yes.
find that you're interrupting me again. You're starting to. And I have to find that there's a meritorious defense and good cause to set aside the default judgment. You're saying you weren't served. Somehow they had you at this family owned location. And that's where all the paperwork was sent. And they obviously must have applied for alternate service. If you didn't live there, you couldn't have been served personally there, but they can serve in certain circumstances by alternate means. First class mail, tacking, certified mail. So I'm kind of surprised none of your family members that live there would have told you about this, but that's neither here nor there. I'm going to look at the proofs of service. Mr. Begg, tell me how much the interest rates are on this one.
Let's see, this should, post-judgment interest, is at 4.72%. I told her her balance is, $6,581.89.
What's the prejudgment interest at?
I'm not sure here. Let me see if it's,
Take
in
your
here.
time.
It looks like, prejudgment interest, was waived. If I'm looking at the, default judgment.
For somebody's bringing to me that, right? The proof, the service?
Yes, Gina's on her way.
Thank you. Okay, so on December 21, somebody answered there and said you were not home. What do you want to say, Mr. Begg?
She doesn't deny the original creditor. She was, trying to argue that she had no contract with LVNV funding, but she's not a party to an assignment, so she has no standing to challenge it. There's definitely no meritorious defense here, and the alt service was properly ordered and completed.
Anything else, Ms. Thomas?
Yes, Your Honor. Respectfully, I just asked the court to set aside the default judgment. I wasn't properly served. I just wanted a chance to file my answer. I still didn't, like I said, I just didn't know the total, what they're saying that my total amount of the debt was. Like, that was my question. I didn't argue with anybody. You know what I mean? He asked me a question and
But you
I
know now,
responded.
right? Because you found the judgment that you said you didn't have. You know,
What-
right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I know today. Yes, I do.
Well, you would have known from the time you got the judgment, right?
I got the judgment. Yes, I wanted to be able to obviously be able to appear in court. I didn't want a judgment filed against me. I wanted to be able to have a say to at least prove or have a chance to argue my point. Um, I wasn't able to appear in court, so obviously a judgment was already rendered against me to pay total amounts of court costs and the judgment, which I felt was unfair because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't able to come and at least um state that, you know what I mean, just be able to give my answer or at least ask the judge, ask Your Honor to at least be able to have them show me my total amount, prove to me my total amount, because I have paid into them. This is not a debt that I just out got and didn't pay into. I was paying my portions of my debt on time. I lost my employment and my home, and so that became an issue.
You filed your
For me.
motion on March 25th, which would have been after you received the default judgment.
Yes, sir. I
So
did.
if you were coming to court, you needed to come forth and say, this is all that I owe and here's why, in a written document. You didn't do
Okay, I
that.
didn't know that. Right, I didn't know that. When I spoke to the
Sorry.
court clerk, I'm sorry.
Good. Good.
Okay, so when I contacted the court, she explained to me that a judgment had been rendered and that this is what I needed to do to have it set aside or at least get a court date to speak with Your Honor. And so that was what I did. I was so fearful of the default judgment being placed against me. I came in immediately the next day. And so that's when she told me that I had to file this paper for XYZ, pay this money, file this document. You're going to write on the document what you feel is the reason why you didn't appear in court. And that's what I did. I didn't know I had to do, you know what I mean? I didn't know I needed to make another statement in regards to the monetary portion of the judgment. I didn't know
Okay.
that.
So I have to find good cause and a meritorious defense, and I just can't do that, Ms. Thomas. They properly got alternate service.
I've never how can
Ma'am, let me finish. They complied with the order for alternate service. You didn't answer the complaint. You don't know what you owe. You're just saying you paid some of it. A lot of people pay some of it. I cannot find that there's a meritorious defense here. I'm sorry. I'm going to deny your motion to set aside default judgment. If you would like to, you can file a motion for installment payments, and or we can even do that now, Mr. Begg, if you'd like. And I will be glad to accommodate you with a hearing, determine how much you can afford to pay weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. I'll be happy to do that now, and I'll waive a motion fee if you choose to do that now. Would you like to do that?
I mean, if that's all I have, I mean, yeah, because you saying you're not setting aside the judgment, I can't even fight for that. So at least I can't afford to give them. I don't have $6,000
Ma'am,
to give to anybody.
ma'am. Really, I'm not going to argue with you. If you want me to conduct that hearing, I will, but I don't want to hear another word about my ruling. You can appeal that if you don't like it. Please feel free. I'm not always right. If you want me to do that now for you, I will. I'll swear you to an oath. And Mr. Begg can ask you questions, and I'll ask you questions, and I'll figure out how much you can afford to pay on a weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly basis. Do you want to do that?
Do I have to do that today? Can I have a hearing for that?
No, you can do it. You can do it later, but you're gonna have to come in and file a motion then. Okay? And you can request that the motion fee be waived if you qualify for indigency status under the rules, okay? So yeah, you can come in and fill out your motion. Right now, counsel, send me an order denying motion to set aside default judgment. You file your motion. I do it sooner rather than later, and we'll set it for hearing, okay? Thank you very much.
What is the motion
Thank
that
you,
I
Your
need
Honor.
to set?
Counsel, wait. You can file a motion for installment payment order. Okay? Good luck to you both. Thank you.
I did not live at that house on Pine East, but the judge said stop talking and show me the receipts. You got the judgment, now you know what you owe.